Greetings, beautiful ones, and welcome. This is Nazanin Marashian, Love and Heart Art, deep dive into tools for empowerment and healing. In this contemplation, I want to examine the breakdown as leading us into the breakthrough. Life has such a curious way of testing us, doesn't it? It often feels like we are pushed to our limits, facing moments that seem insurmountable. And yet, in my experience and in my observation, it is precisely in these breaking points that profound empowerment and healing can occur. The idea that the breakdown is the breakthrough speaks to the transformative power of adversity. And there are so many examples of this in nature. These moments of struggle lead to remarkable exponential growth. And these echo the cycles of life, birth, death, and rebirth, which are embedded deep within our DNA and reflected in nature, because as above, so below, as within, so without. One of my most favorite examples is the metamorphosis of the butterfly. It's so poignant, and it is such a perfect lesson in the breakthrough coming out of the breakdown. Let's have a look at this incredible process where the delicate creature that is the butterfly begins as this soft and squishy caterpillar, voraciously eating and growing and reaching a point in time where then it forms a chrysalis. And inside this chrysalis, inside this protective cocoon, this fat caterpillar then undergoes a radical transformation, breaking down its very cellular structure so that it can emerge as a butterfly. And this metamorphosis is a powerful metaphor for our own life, because often we are that caterpillar, munching, going about our daily business. And the breakdown, the pressures in our lives, the time that we are in that chrysalis is the surrender of the old self, is the total breakdown of all that is no longer for you, so that you can embrace and step into this new identity. And it is a very scary place to be. And yet, when we let go of these old patterns, old relationships, old beliefs, anything that no longer serves, and yes, this surrender is very painful, as it would be to push yourself out of this cocoon, to emerge from this chrysalis to become this strong winged creature. And so must we go through this incredible breakdown of all that signifies the old, so that the new can emerge, and that our wings are strong enough to make us fly in the world in a new way, in a new energy, in a new embracing of who we are. Another really great example, and often this comes up in the Sufi teaching, is the seed and the soil. What pressure the seed must go through to break and grow into this plant. The seed inside the dark, damp soil must face many environments filled with obstacles, rocks, competing plants, unpredictable weather. And yet, all of these challenges are crucial for its development. And as the seed breaks open, it releases a shoot that pushes through all of this struggle, yearning for the light, yearning for the sunlight. And this act of breaking down is essential for the seed's growth, for its metamorphosis. And that is also our journey in life, in our human experience. When we face our own metaphorical soil, that dark night of the soul, that shadow work, all the stress, the grief, the sense of failure, situations that feel suffocating. Yet all of these are the catalyst for growth. Just as a seed must break through the soil to thrive, we too must confront our difficulties, that each challenge can serve as a push that fosters resilience and encourages us to reach for our goals, to reach for the light, to reach higher still, which ultimately leads to our personal empowerment. This is the power of nature, to show us our inner nature. There are so many stories within this beautiful earth, and how the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, really shows us resilience and healing. For example, forest fires. We've had many here in Australia, big ones, 2018. And how this devastation paves way for new life. That all of that destruction is then the foundation for something extraordinary, because the heat from the fire can trigger germination of certain seeds that have laid dormant in the soil, allowing them to spring back to life. The natural process demonstrates how breakdown can facilitate new and renewed growth, clears out the bush. It creates fertile ground to begin again. And in our own lives, we can experience this phenomenon also. That these moments of intense emotional pain, such as a loss of a loved one, or the end of a significant relationship, or illness, can feel like an all-consuming fire. And I've been through it, many fires. And having really then sat in the ashes of what once was, I became like the forest, that these experiences all led to new beginnings. Because these difficult moments in our life, the forest fires of our lives, challenge us to re-evaluate our priorities and emerge with a renewed sense of purpose. Healing often follows suffering, and from the ashes of our breakdowns, like the phoenix, we can cultivate a more vibrant and fulfilling life and rise again. And these experiences are the building blocks of resilience. That is the core foundation of breaking down, is to build resilience and empowerment. And this empowerment often arises from the lessons learned during our breakdown. And hopefully we've been paying attention. Because truly you know when you're healed, when you can look at these difficult circumstances and have gratitude that everything is happening for your transformation. And nature teaches us that. Teaches us that resilience is an inherent quality. It's within our DNA of all living organisms to continue on. It is our natural imperative to adapt to our environment, and sometimes that environment asks us to completely transform from one state into another. And that is our capacity to adapt to our circumstances that allows us to live a fulfilling life and to keep on moving forward. Another great example that I absolutely love is the salmon. After hatching, the salmon journey is really extraordinary because they are swimming upstream to spawn. Very difficult against those very strong currents, facing numerous challenges along the way. Predators, the sweeping current, all sorts of things. Their journey has so much struggle, and yet that struggle strengthens them. Each leap upstream, each brush with danger, equips them with the skills needed for survival. And this shows me in this beautiful example of the salmon, and there's a lovely song about the salmon. I might share that in another episode. But no matter how overwhelming, the imperative to survive, the imperative to grow, the imperative to strengthen is what draws us back into our personal power, our courage, and our perseverance. The concept that the breakdown is the breakthrough invites us to embrace the full spectrum of our human experience. It is there to fundamentally show us that challenges are not setbacks, but rather opportunities for immense growth. Just like nature has its cycles of destruction, renewal, so too do we have our transformational journeys. There's a beautiful Sufi saying that we must die before we die, which means that we are in this constant cycle of transformation. The parts of us die off all the time so we can grow greater into ourselves. And when we meet our breaking points, when we feel the edges of ourselves and then move beyond, we have two choices. We can succumb to the despair, or we can harness that energy for growth and healing. And by leaning into the discomfort and embracing the process of metamorphosis, we can emerge stronger, more resilient, more empowered, more wise, more generous, more empathetic, because it's in that breakdown that leads us to the breakthrough, that we align with ourselves and the fundamental rhythm of life. And in that is the celebration of beauty, of transformation, of empowerment, of our journey to remember that we are here to rise anew and again, to meet the greatness that is inherent within the pure potential of every seed, within the beauty of letting go of everything that is no longer for you, so that you can open your wings and fly. So that swimming against the current, that being totally individuated in your belief and your imperative to create strengthens you. And that is how the breakthrough happens. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like, share and subscribe for more. And thank you for sharing your time with me. Keep rising and knowing that you are the most spectacular being in all of your breakdowns, because they are leading to a most spectacular breakthrough. Until next time, beloveds, this is Nazan Imarashian, Love and Heart Art.